What's going on, guys? Bryce Crispy94 here, joined with the one and only Cryo.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cryo, aka the King of Snow, here to bring you that holiday cheer in this beautiful holiday episode. How you guys doing? How are you doing, Bryce?
I am doing great. I am ready to record this holiday-themed episode of the Monster Corner. Just want to, before we get into it, say that I am taking next week off of YouTube because been pumping out a lot of stuff. Holidays are upon us. It gives me a nice little break. And yeah, and also Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy Holidays to the other holidays that I don't specifically know.
Whichever holiday you celebrate.
Yes.
And if you don't celebrate a holiday, enjoy the presumably school break and maybe you get a little week off from work.
Right.
You know, it's always a good time. Everybody benefits at least a little bit.
Exactly.
But yeah, go ahead and check out all the videos this man's been putting out over the last couple of weeks, because holy hell, there's some good ones out there, and I may be in one of them.
He may be. He may be.
Maybe. Go find it.
Okay, so if you guys can't already tell, we are doing Redcaps, which are well, let's just take a look at them here.
Let's just go into it. Let's just do it.
So this is what they look like back in 3rd edition, which is their first appearance, obviously. And what do you think of this nice elderly gentleman?
You know, I think somebody let Grandpa out of his cage again.
Yeah.
I think that this. Okay, let's just be honest with each other right now. This is creepy as shit. Malnourished.
Right.
Got. Presumably, it looks like claws, or like at least metal claws.
Yeah, like some sort of like spike thing on his gloves there.
Some Wolverine type stuff. Those terrible, just absolutely terrible teeth.
Yeah.
This is rabies gone mad. But honestly, it's cool. Like it's cool. Like the big scythe, which you wouldn't really expect from such a
Yeah, because they're very short. If you guys don't know this, and so most things in D&D can't hold two-handed weapons when they're that small. But these guys, their strength is actually that of your average human.
Oh damn, that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Even like you can even see it's kind of muscular, like at the top there.
Right, yeah, it's like I mean, it's got some shoulders, and it's gonna need some shoulders to be swinging something that big around.
Yeah, and it wins in my book because, as the name implies, it does look to have a red cap on.
It does. All right, so that's it for about 30. We do skip 1st edition and 2nd edition, and then we skip 4th edition, and finally we have their current look.
A+ for the red cap. I mean, now that's a red cap.
Right. I really enjoy their current look. They look like evil Christmas elves, and that's why they were chosen for the holiday-themed video.
Yeah. The sword seems a bit impractical, being so curved like that.
It is a sickle.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, yes. Sickles are a bit impractical.
Yeah.
Because, like, are you supposed to attack with the outside end or the inside end?
Right.
I never know.
I believe they commonly wield sickles, scythes, and slings.
Okay. Scythe, such a weird addition in that group of of weapons.
And I believe with sickles it is the curved part that you do. So you're not really going to be like cutting with it. You're going to be more slashing. Would that be right?
Okay. I get that. Yeah, sickles are the one weapon in D&D where I'm like, that just looks like a farming tool.
I mean, they are a farming tool. They're made to cut hay.
Yeah, so it's like, I feel like it's a bit impractical.
Right.
But, you know, loving the facial hair.
Right.
So it's just a full-blown little, just like, tuft of hair. You got the freaking, those steel-toe stompers that he's got on.
The one
those bad boys.
thing that I prefer on 3E over this is actually the hat. And that's because the 3rd edition hat looked like it was soaked in blood, whereas this just looks like a red hat.
That's true. I think we're giving a little bit of spoilers. I think people might be missing context here, but don't worry. Don't worry, we're gonna get to it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Um, so that I'm but from that standpoint, that is my really only complaint, because they are, you know, basically evil-ish gnomes, about 3 foot tall. I like that this one, its teeth, they still look gross, but they're not like
Yeah.
monstrous. Like this
That's
guy
true.
has a chance of kind of like, you know, he puts some gloves on and he can sneak around as a gnome.
That's true. He could blend in a little bit. The other
Mhm.
one's more demonic, kind of.
Yeah. Like you can tell it's like a fey creature. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, they would have to cover up those hands, because those are some nasty,
Yes.
nasty hands.
Those are some piercers right there. Forget the weapon.
Right.
Use those bad boys.
Okay, so enough about appearance. Let's go ahead and talk origin and history.
Oh boy.
So, as I said earlier, the Redcap. These things have to keep their hats soaked in blood in order to survive. They literally feed off the life essence of things they've killed, which is kind of crazy.
Happy holidays.
Yeah. So they're loners, and the reason for that is in large groups they fight, they kill each other, and then they use themselves to soak in blood. So they're kind of cannibalistic in a way.
That's absolutely terrifying. And I hate that. Like, imagine like just like a full blown slaughterhouse of just like these little things, just like absolutely going insanely nuts at each other. Like, ugh.
They're
Gross.
like typically groups, I think 3 to 4, but there are some larger bands of them that can get up to about 11. But then you have, once they get up to a certain age, I mean, they're just gonna slaughter you and use you.
Yeah.
They have a crazy like origin, I guess. Yeah, like origin, how they're created. So either in the Feywild or in a Fey-touched area of the normal plane, or I'm assuming any plane that's been Fey-touched, really.
Probably, yeah.
Should bloodshed be, blood be spilled there, mass murder, something like that, these little things will actually sprout out of the ground as like a little mushroom with a red cap before they fully form into what you see here.
I hate it. I hate that thought.
Right.
Like they just kind of start crawling through the ground like a zombie movie.
Yeah. And
Hate
I
it.
definitely should mention their iron boots. They all wear iron boots,
Look, I mean, look at those stompers, man.
right? I think that
Like-
in 3E they looked a little less clunky and more like, I think they actually had like a blade on the toe of one.
Did they really? Hold on, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go back.
Yeah, I'll go back to it. We're gonna run back
Oh
here.
yeah.
Yeah, you
it
can kind of
does.
see like a blade on the toe there.
Yeah, those look at least movable. These ones look like they're absolutely just so heavy to move around in.
Right. Which,
Jeez.
that's a good thing you said, a little heavy to move around in, because that should bring us to the stat block. And as you can see, they have iron boots, which they get disadvantage on dex saves.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Or stealth checks,
That's-
sorry.
That's interesting that they've actually like kind of integrated that into the stat block itself, because usually like they'd just be like, yeah, they have iron boots, and then they would just like ignore it and it doesn't matter.
Right?
But yeah, it's like akin to like having like scale mail or whatever, where it's
Yeah.
just gonna cling. So it makes sense.
It does. It does. So small fae, chaotic evil, obviously, they slaughter themselves.
Yeah.
Armor class 14, which I kind of thought might be a little high, but I'm like, well, they have iron boots, but that's it.
Yeah, I mean, they're nimble because they're small.
Right.
So like, you can kind of give it to them on that front, I guess.
45 hit points. That's not bad.
It's a little beefy.
It is. It's like a level 5 elf. Or, not elf, sorry. A level 5 gnome. Gnomes don't have
To
that
be
many.
fair though, it has a pretty high con.
It does, yeah.
So like that makes a lot of sense as to why it would have such a good hit point value there.
25-foot speed, like gnomes. 18 strength, because they have, as you can see there, the outsized strength. They're considered to be medium when grappling, which is kind of cool. And wielding
is
heavy
kinda
weapons
cool,
doesn't does not impose disadvantage, like I said earlier. So yeah, the strength definitely makes sense. Their dex being 13, I kind of feel like that's a little high considering they have the iron boots.
Yeah, but you gotta think it's not based on what they're wearing.
That's
it's
true,
based on
yeah.
their physique. Like let's say you're, you know, a paladin wearing full plate, but like you could still have a dex of, you know,
Right.
15. But to be fair though, that's because like you put it there. Like that's your choice.
Right.
But like I think it's just supposed to mean like how fast your person is in general, aside from what it is that they're wearing, or how well they can move. I mean, they've probably
That's
been
true.
wearing these boots for their entire existence, so over time
Right.
they would be accustomed to moving in them.
That makes a lot of sense, especially if you look at the Ironbound Pursuit action they have.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I knew
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
stomp with them.
Yeah,
They're big
yeah.
stompers. Like
They
come
are.
on, you're not gonna be able to kick with those. Okay, so that makes sense.
That does make sense. Okay. Like you said, 18 con. So 10 intelligence. So they're not like stupid, but they're not smart.
They're dumb enough to kill each other.
Yeah. They're wise-ish, I guess. Not really.
They are kind of wise, I suppose.
Right. Honestly, I think the charisma score's too high.
Well, I think the reason why it's where it is because one, they're disgusting and they're gross and whatever, but Fae are supposed to be charismatic. They're supposed to be tricky. They're supposed
That
to be
is true.
conniving. And so like they probably get a boost because of that Fae
being
nature.
Fae, right.
So like I think it fits. I think it could be a little lower, maybe an 8, but at that point it wouldn't make that much of a difference.
Right. They are very athletic. Look at that. +6.
Yeah, they're strong. They're nimble. So like it would make
Yeah.
sense for them to be able to kind of do all these little strength-based feats to kind of get them around.
They are perceptive.
Dark vision.
Dark vision. Which
So the
gnomes have dark vision. These things are literally just evil gnomes.
yeah, they're just reskin gnomes, but
Yeah.
I mean, reskin gnomes is kind of a diss because like it's got a lot of different things from the gnome. Like
Right.
it doesn't have any of like the gnome stuff.
Common
So-
and Sylvain. Challenge rating 3. So I mean,
That's about right.
yeah. And groups 3 to 4, like that's a good challenge.
That's not bad at all. I
Yeah.
don't remember because I think an owlbear is challenge rating 3. I don't remember how many hit points the owlbear had,
It had more, I think.
but it's a owlbear, so I'll
Yeah.
give that pass.
And we've already talked about the iron boots and the outsize strength abilities.
Holy shit! 3 attacks.
Yes.
Oh my god! And it's 2d4. God damn.
Yeah. Yep.
That's bullshit.
They are. Yeah.
Oh my god, the boots, if
The
they land
boots.
perfectly, take more than Call Lightning.
Yeah.
Because
That's
with Call
insane.
Lightning, it's just 3d10, but this is 3d10 plus 4.
Or
That's bullshit.
what?
Imagine a boot
You could be
hitting
knocked
you
prone.
hard. Imagine getting hit with a boot so hard, it's like you got hit with a lightning bolt. That's bullshit.
So
But
I just realized, like, if you succeed on the dexterity save, though, you don't take any damage.
oh shit, you're right.
Because normally it's like take half as much, but no, it's just
Yeah.
kind of like you juke them out.
I wonder if that's reworded bad, or if it's supposed to be like that.
I don't know. I think I got this from D&D Beyond.
It's probably right then, but I
Yeah.
wonder if it wasn't supposed to be like that intentionally. Because that's a large chunk of damage that's basically just hit or miss.
It kind of makes sense though, because it's a boot, and like, so you're gonna dodge out of the way of the attack if you make the dex saving throw. Like,
To be fair, shouldn't it just be an attack? Because you're kicking something. Like a monk would punch somebody. in
yeah,
the
like,
face and
yeah, I
roll
guess you
for it.
would think they would make an attack roll.
That's why I think it would make more sense if it was an attack roll. Because yeah, if it misses, of course you're not gonna.
Let
take
me,
damage.
these things are.
That's interesting. That's an interesting concept because yeah, you would think like if it's damage or no damage, it would just be a hit with a saving throw. Interesting.
I'm just checking here. I
What
think
book
they're
are they in?
I think Tomb of Annihilation.
Okay.
So I grabbed it. I know if I don't have them in this, I know they were put back out in the newest book. Not the
Strixhaven?
not Strixhaven, but the one right before that. That's
Fizbane's?
not Fizbane's. God, there's been too many
Tasha's?
books lately. Not Tasha's.
Wait, so you're telling me it's not Tasha's, it's not Fizbane's, and it's not Strixhaven?
No, it's
There's
hold on.
another one that came out in between all of those?
Kinda. Ew, Tasha's, Volvo, Mordekin, Baron, Explorer. I'm like going through them all. I know I have it.
What the heck? I didn't know there was another
Wild
one.
Beyond the Witchlight. Witchlight.
Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which
I
is
remember
the
that
first
one.
place I saw them.
Is that the one with fairies in it?
It is the one with fairies in it.
Okay. Yeah, I remember that one. That one kind of got the short end of the stick, I feel like.
Right? Although I haven't
that
heard a lot of great things from Strixhaven yet.
I don't think there's many things out about Strixhaven yet.
It came out last week, I think?
I don't think there's enough time for people to criticize it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think, like, I've heard good things about Fizbane's.
Fizbane's is awesome. I really enjoy
Uh,
Fizbane's. Like,
This ain't about Fizbane's, though, guys. Sorry, we'll get to Fizbane's one
yeah,
of these days.
eventually. Come on.
Maybe we'll review the books one of these days.
Ooh, that'd be, okay, Redcap right here. Ironbound Pursuit. No, that's correct. Yep.
Huh.
Yeah,
Interesting concept.
it
Alright,
is.
I'll let it slide on that one.
Okay. All right. Okay, so that's it for the stat block. Let's go ahead and talk about madcaps.
Oh God, take it away.
So madcaps are a variation of the redcaps that instead of soaking their hat in blood, they soak it in demon ichor. And demon ichor is just the blood of demons or the entrails of demons, just demon slop, basically. And here's what those beautiful guys look like.
No, get it? No, no, I don't want it. Go away. Love the boots though.
Right? Yeah, they have a little bit. They kind of have that look of the third edition boot.
Yeah, where it's got the little hook on the end.
Right?
And now that boot looks like it does 3d10 damage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that one would hurt a lot.
See, and this guy, he looks like his hat is soaked in something.
Yeah, something. The one thing that I don't necessarily agree with is why is this one's armor class lower?
It is, isn't it?
Why is that? What they're basically the same.
Yeah, like everything is the same.
Like
Maybe-
literally everything is the same except that.
Maybe that's a typo. Because madcaps don't actually have their own stat block. They just use the redcap stat block. So that's probably just
Oh.
a typo on this stat block.
Well, okay, that makes sense. Because I was
Yeah.
like, why is this thing like? Why is it easier to hit? What's up with that?
Also, it's Baldur's Gate that they are in, not Tome of
Baldur's
Annihilation.
Gate.
Yeah,
Baldur's
it just came to me.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, this guy's creepy as shit. I don't like him.
Yeah, I agree. They are ugly. So, I mean, stat-wise, exact same. Obviously, there's a
Yeah.
typo on the stat block, but the only difference is their appearance, and these guys blow up into fire when they die.
That's terrifying.
I did read. I was going through my books when I was preparing for this, just to try and figure out like if anything happens, but no. Like, you don't have to make a dexterity save to take fire damage or anything like that. They just kind of burst into flames.
Oh, so flavor.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. You'd think they'd have like a little bit of tweaks to their stat block, because these guys don't look nearly as smart,
Oh, for sure. Especially if you bathe in demon blood.
right?
But I
And
guess
you'd
it'll.
think maybe that would give them a little, because they do kind of look a little muscular, in my opinion.
That's true. I guess, I mean, they're already muscular. Like,
Right.
they already. I guess there was really no reason to. It was just like, we want to have something a little different.
Yeah.
Let's just, like, reskin it. Just a little. This is a reskin. You want to talk about a reskin?
Yes, this is a reskin. I think there was an evil witch or something in one of the books who she had an army of these, like up to 60 of them that she controlled.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so, which makes sense. Like, she wanted maybe these things are a little easier to control. obviously their stat block doesn't show that, but
Yeah.
I don't make the stat blocks.
Yeah, no, we don't make the rules. We just look at them and analyze them and critique them.
Right. But design-wise, I do like it. Its sickle, even though it looks more practical, I don't like it as much.
Yeah, it definitely looks more like a weapon,
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah, I can understand why maybe.
It
I
doesn't look
think
as
sickles.
scary.
I just think sickles are impractical as is. So like, you know what I mean?
Right. They're like
But
hooks. Like, I've never really understood hooks as a weapon.
yeah,
Because you have to be able to hit and pull back in order to do damage.
It's just it's not as good.
Right. I think it's just a fear tactic at that point.
Yeah, because it does look like it would hurt a lot.
Right.
And I don't want to deal with that. But yeah, it's not. It's a very impractical weapon.
Okay. Moving on from the Madcaps over to Cryo's corner.
Okay. Once again, the glasses have been put on. So for these mischievous little gremlins, this one's kind of a hard one. Because like in theory, like I want to say like something holiday themed, but like you kind of can't. Like realistically, we did this just because they look like demented elves in Santa's workshop and whatnot. But they're I feel like they have more of a layer to them, like especially with the strength. Like I feel like you had mentioned that like they're minions, but like I feel like what would be even better, like you want to talk about like if you want to relate it back to like a holiday thing. I like a criminal syndicate where there's like a sweatshop with all of these working in it, where they are being used to make stuff.
Okay.
Right? But like they're being used like not like in the traditional sense of like where Santa uses elves, but like something is using these things and like they're being treated very badly. Maybe there's an uprising, where maybe you have to help them or stop them, or maybe you can give this as a pick your side. Like what do you want to do? Like give more agency to your players in that regard of, okay, do you want to help them escape, or do you want to not let these creatures see the light of day because they're actually not that great of people?
Right.
I do like the idea of maybe homebrewing to make the Madcaps a little stupider.
Yeah.
Because they do look pretty dumb.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like looking at like him just sitting there with those two other. I'm like, yeah, he looks a little dumb.
Yeah, he looks a little dumb, but I like him. I like the idea of maybe like there's a war between these two different caps, like the Redcaps versus the Madcaps. Especially like if you are going to enter some realm of the Feywild or maybe some other plane, like you could bring these into the material world, and I suppose it would work. Like
yeah, because they like if it's a Fey touch part of the material world, these things can sprout there.
Yeah, so like you can put them anywhere. Like it's not like hard for that to become a reality. But like I think that I don't know though. Maybe you do want to keep these more to like either other planes or to the material plane, because there is some crazy shit in the Feywild. Like,
crazy shit.
and this is like not even like the bottom. Like this is below the barrel in terms of the shit that's in the Feywild. So like you could use these, I guess, as like a entry level where you like, because some people don't actually know what's up with the Feywild. Like most people who play D&D, like campaigns don't. I mean, I could be wrong, but like I don't see a lot of information about campaigns actually being in the Feywild.
Right.
So like this could be a neat little introduction where like, oh, these just look like demented gnomes. The Feywild's not that bad, and it could be like a misdirect. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where you lead them to think that there's like just normal shit here. Like this is like if you don't know anything about Redcaps, these could be comparable to like Duragar or like deep gnomes. Right?
Okay, yeah.
They're just really demented gnomes. And I'm not saying that all dark elves, like all Drow, all Duragar, and all, I don't know the name for the underground version of gnomes. They're called like
it starts with an S, but it's like really hard.
Stilvin, I don't know. I don't know. It's like Swedish in nature, I think. I'm not sure. But anyway, all of those creatures don't have to be bad. These creatures don't have to be bad either. I know like their description says that they bathe in the blood of like, so I think that this is the one instance where like I can't say like maybe you find a good one of these.
Right. I mean, they have to kill to survive.
Yeah, like so like you could maybe play like because like how you said with like kobold like a not kobold gnolls, like you could have a good gnoll that like is seeking redemption. It's kind of hard for these creatures to seek redemption
Mm-hmm.
because like you said they have to kill. So like this is probably the one time where I'll say like if you can pull it off, go for it, but like at the end maybe they die because they're trying to be good because they need to
Right.
kill to live. Maybe it's like an internal dilemma where like he kills to live but he doesn't want to, but he knows he has to because he'll die and he doesn't want to die. Like so that could be like that's more of like an existential thing, which kind of sucks. But like there's I don't know, there's a lot to play with but also not that much because I feel like this is one of those things where like it's pretty one-dimensional, unfortunately, like because of the fact that if they don't kill they will die.
Right.
You kind of have less wiggle room than most other creatures, but I think that is what makes it fun because it makes you have to like kind of almost improvise a little bit on like how you handle things because there's so like with a big creature that has so many dimensions, improvising can be too much sometimes because there's too many options, right? With something that's so like not one dimensional, that's kind of rude I feel like because it's a pretty deep in the lore kind of creature.
It is, yeah. It's got some good lore around it.
But I think that you could kind of just improvise because the box that is contained is a lot smaller with what you're capable of doing. But I don't know. I think there's more to work with the madcaps though, because you could probably introduce those as like a kid having nightmares, but the parents are just throwing it off as nightmares. But then one day the kid gets kidnapped, and then you got to fight these little gremlins. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
There's story and there's plot that can work with it. They're on par with some of the other humanoid monsters, that exist out there. I don't mean humanoid monsters, humanoid enemies, that exist out there. So it's workable. I like the iron boots. I think you can maybe fit that in somehow. Like if you kill one of them, maybe you can grab the boots, and now you have them boots that you can do a little extra kicky with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could make it like an item.
Yeah, and maybe even the cap itself. Maybe when you kill one of these, you like the cap has like a magical aura that you're drawn to. And it's almost like it's trying to possess you, kind of like a cursed magic item in a sense, but less so. And then maybe if you decide to put it on, or maybe because your characters may not know what these creatures are. If you're like, oh, this is a cool cap, and you put it on, now you crave blood, and now that's a whole other storyline that you got to deal with. So they're not really part of the main storyline now, but now the cap itself is, I mean, it is red cap, right? So, and that could play into like your creature thirsts for blood, and not in like in a vampiric sense, right?
Right, yeah, because it'd be like a murder sense at that point.
Yeah, it's almost like throwing in vampirism without really throwing in vampirism, right? Like you crave blood, you crave to kill, you must bathe in blood, right? Like, and that's like gonna be a problem, and now you have to like get this curse removed, or like you have to, seek out a wizard that is gonna like. There's plot device there with that for sure. It's just like I said, I like to encourage people to find what fits best for their campaign. If this doesn't fit in your world, well, then maybe next time you run a different campaign or whatever. So there's a lot to work with. Definitely one of the harder ones for me to come up with ideas for because of how little there is, but still pretty useful nonetheless, I would say.
Right. I think these are good random encounter enemies should you be near like a Fey touched area.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's kind of what that would be like a really easy way to get them into a campaign.
Yeah, and like what was a random encounter could turn into something more, especially with that cap idea where like it's almost like a possessed type of vibe, where like it started off as supposed to just be kind of like fun, and then slowly descends into, oh shit, maybe that was important. And so now you get like kind of a conflict on your hands. So that could be really interesting.
That could, yeah. I like that. Okay, well, I think that's gonna do it for this one. Any
Boy.
final words on these wonderful little demonic gnome elf?
Sleep well tonight.
Yeah.
Buddy. Sweet dreams.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Jesus. Oh,
Oh. Well, thank you guys for coming and checking out this episode of Monster Corner. If there is a monster, a beast, a creature, anything D&D that you guys want to know more about, go ahead and leave a comment down below and we will do a video on it. Go check out the previous Monster Corners. We've got Yonogu, we've got Marrow, we've got Owlbears, we've got Gnolls. We've been hitting everywhere we can with these videos.
a little bit of flavor here and there.
Yeah. You know, we don't want to do all Fays or all dragons. We're bouncing all over.
Yeah, spice it up.
Exactly. But yeah, happy holidays, everybody. And I will see you guys in the new year. Here's to 2022. Hope it's better than 2021.
Ugh.